Welcome everyone to yet another episode of C4C Minecraft. It's good to have you on board today. Today we're going to be enjoying some of the fruits of our labors and some of the projects that we finished here. Let's look at that giant rainbow in the sky there. Thank you, Shalom, Yeshua. Appreciate that. Look at how beautiful that rainbow is. And why do we have a rainbow? Because we have the Ark. And that's how big the real one was. Noah was quite the builder. Let's see here. We have a little memorial for Pastor Louise. She was a very special member of our church. And we thank her for her service over the years. She has gone home to be with the Lord, and so she's enjoying the fruits of her labors. As you can see, this is a long walkway to get us up into the big door. The big door waiting there. And you can hear all the animals. There's spiders in here somewhere. Anyway, look at all that's going on in here. We just have hallways. All right. Don't take anything out of the Ark, but we have some rooms here where they would be living, because they did spend several months in here. They probably had places to sit and places to cook. Definitely places to sleep. Definitely some storage. Probably didn't smell the best in here because, well, it was an Ark full of animals. All enclosed. But they took care of all those animals. And as you can see, we just have various supplies and tools that they would have had. And in here we have just a collection of the different animals. Looks like, ooh, those are cool looking dogs. Or wolves. Dogs and wolves are cool. I'm a dog person myself. But I did pet a cat a lot today, so there's that. Oh, we have pandas over here with some bamboo in the back. More pandas. Oh, lots of different cats. And I have to say thank you to all the other players who came and populated this Ark with so many great things. Here we have big water clay pots here. And all these animals, they went and got mountain goats and sniffers and all those dogs and just various supplies, some crops and things to grow. And we've made it all the way to the other end of the Ark. But that's not the end of the Ark. That's just the top floor. We'll go down the stairs, and there's a whole additional floor to the Ark. There's even a little secret compartment up here that maybe we should decorate sometime. But as you can see, there's all kinds of supplies. Be they foodstuffs or plants or whatever. And we have horses in here. And more horses. You have to remember that the Ark didn't take 2 of every animal, it was 2 of every kind. Now, because Minecraft is limited in the number of kinds it has, our dedicated crew has gotten matching pairs of horses and donkeys and dogs and cats. Oh, and here's the cows with the horns. As you can see, they went and collected a lot of things out there. We have the pigs. We have the curly-haired pigs, if that's indeed what they are. The brown and orange pigs. We have sheep. A little bit more. And you have to remember that there were 7 of the clean animals, but 2 of the unclean animals. Here we have llamas, white llamas, and cream-colored llamas. As you can see, it was quite the build. There's even mushrooms over here. Wow. Even I myself, I have not reviewed the entire ark just because it's so big. And that's not all. We still have a third floor down at the very bottom. Oh boy, silverfish? Somebody brought silverfish in here? I'm impressed. There's axolotls in there. Wow. And different axolotls. Boy. I mean, I put a fair amount of effort into collecting wood and helping to build it, but wow, the amount of effort it must have taken to bring all these animals here. I am impressed. Wow. As you can see, there's more storage down here with the clay pots. And if you wander in between the floors, between the sections here, you can see up all the way up to the roof of the ark. That was to allow ventilation and so forth to happen in the ark. You know, the logistics that you don't think about. Oh, it's just a big boat. No, somebody put a lot of thought into this. And I want to bring attention to these boxes here that are in the front and back, all the way from the bottom floor all the way to the top. We call those moon pools. And they were open to the sea or the water. And as the boat rocked back and forth, it allowed the water to rise and fall in there and push the air in and out of these vented sections on the top floor here, and pushed air and drew air out of the ark to provide ventilation. And as we travel astern here, we can see that there was a gap. We can even go up onto the roof here and take a look at the rooftop and see just how big the ark really is. It's impressive. Anyway, Noah was a wise man. Somehow, all those many years ago, he knew how to build a boat and how to make it hold up under its own weight and to carry all those animals. And there is that giant rainbow. Because when they finally settled down on the earth, God brought the rainbow out to remind them that he would never destroy the earth with water again. So I just want to give a shout out to all the people that helped make our ark a success. It really is a beautiful construction with, I can tell you from personal experience, a lot of spruce wood, a lot of logs, and a lot of spruce planks and so forth. Just look at that thing standing so valiantly up there. And here we have some of our players. So that's Admiral and Shalom 7 Yeshua. They were instrumental in making the ark happen. Kind of odd that I ran into them, although, yeah, there's a lot of rabbits in there. They're working on something silly that we did not that long ago, and we got a good chuckle out of it. So, yeah, we'll enjoy that. Maybe in another video sometime. It is time to hit the skies. And we're going to sail across the world here, and we're going to travel to another ark. Now, if you want to travel out to the ark, the other ark, the one that we're about to visit, you can just head over to the spawn location and head east. You can follow the path that's out there, and you will find it at some point off in the distance. All right, and there is the mountain of God that Moses went to visit God on. And look, as we come around the corner, just look at this. We'll land here so we can scope it out. Just look at that. That is a supersized scale model of the Ark of the Covenant. Now this is the ark that they built in the book of Exodus. It is where God was supposed to rest. His spirit would rest. And it was made out of gold. And it had angels up on top. We'll go visit those shortly. But it was all decorated beautifully. And they marched with it in battle. And God was with them. And we have another memorial sign for Pastor Louise. And we're going to go up inside, because what was inside the ark? It was some manna. Now, in the book, in the Bible, in Exodus, it talks about the manna. That was the food that was given to the Israelites so that they didn't have to farm or raise their own food. They just went outside and collected it. And the word manna simply means, what is it? So they went outside and like, so there's something on the ground. What is it? And that's how it got its name. We also have Aaron's staff. Aaron's staff budded, meaning that it grew things off of it, like branches and leaves and so forth, as a miracle to show God's power. And so here we have Aaron's staff with various blocks, and it looks like cocoa bean pods hanging off the side there. And then finally, the other item that was in the ark was the stone tablets from the Ten Commandments. That's pretty cool. They thought of everything, and look at the volume of this construction. It's amazing. I would like to say that my contribution was some of these honey blocks and some of these wax blocks, and some of the gold. But Anna and Tifa did a lot of work on this, and thank you to anybody else who did some work on it, who I may not know who did the work. And we'll come up here, and we'll see what we can see. These are the angels with their wingtips stretched out. And this here represents God's Spirit as it hovered over the Ark of the Covenant. They did their homework, and they thought of all this stuff. I think it's beautiful. Great work. Looks like we have a lot of terracotta here. We have gold blocks and yellow wool blocks, and I'm guessing that's bamboo. I don't make a whole lot of bamboo items, so I'm not an expert at that. But look at that. Isn't that impressive? Combination of wood and just various building materials. A lot of effort went into this. I know it took a while because it takes a fair amount of effort to collect this much gold. I see dozens and dozens of gold blocks. So a lot of work was put into this. Thank you guys for doing that. Sharing your talents with the crew. And I'm going to take off if I can here. So we're going to do one more buzz around. One more buzz around the Ark of the Covenant. Wow. They even have the poles that hold it up. Very good. Before we head off to AdmiralCurse's place, we're going to go and take a look at my XP farm. I have been beefing it up a little bit. All right, well, here is my base. You're probably familiar with this from a previous episode. There's Hannah. She is harvesting some mobs and collecting XP and so forth. What I'd like to draw your attention to is outside here, and that is my resin farm. where I stand right here and chop the quaking and collect resin clumps. And as we take a quick look here, I'm using a little bit of redstone for automation. And so, see if we can get down and take a closer look. So these are all slabs. The whole machine is covered in slabs, and so the quaking won't spawn here, except for right down here where all of these pressure plates are. Something just hit me. I don't know. Oh, it's phantoms. I haven't slept in a few days. All right. I need to sleep. Well, this is making it hard to make a video. There we go. Oh, I got a phantom membrane? Score. At any rate, the quaking fall on these platforms, which then trigger some pistons, push them off down into the water, where they flow over and fall down the hole. Then, as I chop them, the resin appears on these pale oak log blocks, and as you can see, the machine is pushing the resin off, and it falls down into the water and goes down into the hole as well. Now, I'm going to have to get on their case or something here. Almost fell off. Ow. That's all right. So at any rate, so I have a clock mechanism here, which you can see cycles every so often. And that's what triggers those pistons to push the resin clumps off, and I collect them right down here. The quaking are trapped in this little section here, and they cannot hurt me. I just stand and... Oh, I think I got another. Phantom membrane. I got 4 phantom membranes. Well, that was convenient. So I've also got, on this side, I've got my spruce farm, where I just chop trees and plant trees and chop trees if I need a lot of spruce. And then over here, I have my auto collection system, which captures all of the mob drops that come out of the back of the XP farm. These little mine carts collect those items, deposit them here where they're distributed. I think I've talked about that previously. And then as my chests fill up, I see that I have some useful materials in there, like gold chest plates and helmets and iron plate, iron armor, that kind of thing. So I'm going to throw them in here, and this is an auto smelter. I flip this little switch, and it carries those around until they're all gone. There we go. And it just deposits them in these hoppers, and I can turn that off. And then the armor is melted down into nuggets, as you can see here, and I get to collect gold that way. So, and then for the rest of the items that I don't really want, I just flip this little switch, and it throws all that junk away over time with this little timer circuit here. Eventually it will get rid of all of it. For now, I'm not too worried about it. And then downstairs, it is a noisy place in here, isn't it? I have a nice little farm going on where I can grow all the wheat that I want. Got little waterlogged stair blocks here. Keep the farm growing. And every so often I can harvest that. And then I take it next door where I can feed and harvest my sheep and my cows. for plenty of nice hearty food like steak and cooked mutton, which I need a bite of right now. So that is my base where I collect all my XP. You can see I definitely have some now. And just one good whack, and it just pours on in. And then I have to get rid of the things that I don't want. I think that's all I collected this time around. All right, and as I promised, we are going off to see Lex's house. So while we're traveling down this tunnel here on the way to Lex's house, and it goes a long ways, we're going to take a quick look at Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 24 and 25. And it says, "And let us consider how we may spur one another on toward love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, as some are in the habit of doing, but encouraging one another." So we're told to encourage each other in a lot of things, you know. A lot of people like to work together, especially in Minecraft, to build things, and some people are good collectors of resources, and other people are good builders, and so it's great to encourage each other on doing those things. And it's important that we spend time together, which is why our meetups are so important as well. It's fun to just hang out together and just enjoy each other's company and just have a good time. But through that, we can encourage each other with our builds and with our accomplishments. We can build great things together, or we can sit back and look at our work and just celebrate our time together. Or we can look at other people's work and encourage them in doing more of it. Or we can step up and we can help. So I just want to encourage each of you to do that. All right. Welcome. Morning, I hug people and some strangers home. This is an interesting place to have a portal. But look at this. You look out over here and you can see, oh, it's a basalt biome. It's full of magma blocks. Magma cubes, I guess they're called. Anyway, it's just a nice little grotto-esque looking place. It's just very pretty here. Anyway, let's take a look here. We're going to travel into the portal and see what we see on the other side. Oh boy. AdmiralCurse has put together some beautiful stuff here. Look at this. Plants, various flowers, beautiful stairs, ooh, a blue lantern, beautiful windy walkway, and then look at this beautiful house that he has put together. That deserves 100% open view. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's a happy ghast hanging over there. Look at it. Multiple floors. Little area for a pet camel that's peeking around the corner just to visit and see us. Oh, you came to check us out. And there it is, Lex's house, it says. Take a quick look in the inside here. A little bit of a library. Better close that door. We don't want that armadillo getting loose. There's a table with chairs. Some potted plants. A little bit of storage. Frog, dog. And upstairs. Something's making some noise. Is that the frog? Just have some storage and yet another floor up here. Little bedroom with a note block. And look at all those books with an enchanting table there and brewing stands. Wow, it is very, very nicely done. combination of various calcite blocks and birch logs and all this artwork and the candles. Wow, a lot of thought and effort went into building this. It's beautiful. But that's not all. Over on the other side, we have this awesome barn / work area. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. There's an emerald block there. Don't see that too often. Just various storage containers, barrels, and chests, and some amethyst crystals. And a furnace for smelting things. And the stone, more storage. Just a little work area with a dragon head from the end. And a suit of diamond armor, enchanted of course. I'm not sure how you get in there, but there's a whole other room down there. That's pretty special. Wow, just look at all the work that went into that. That is a beautiful build right there. But we are not done yet, because Lex put together a mine all decked out in timbers. And look at all the beautiful ores. All for decorative purposes, not to be mined, placed there for the aesthetics of this beautiful mine. I wish the rest of Minecraft was this densely populated with ores, but we have gold and iron and coal and some copper around. Little lanterns. Man, that's just, everything is suited perfectly for this little build here. And it just goes down with some more ores hanging out there. And we have yet another tunnel with a few more. We have some coal. And then it breaks out into the open here, where there is a little ranch full of animals. We have cows and pigs, armadillos and chickens and sniffers. Look at that. Just beautifully done, beautifully done. So good job, Lex. Thank you for making our world so awesome. I am going to switch back to... Oh, I'm going to put my... And we'll take a look down, up above here. Do a little flight through the area. Just look at this work. Very nicely done. But with that, it's time to wrap up this episode. I am going to head back into the Nether and hit the rail again. But just remember, Hebrews 10, 24, and 25, we need to encourage each other. And I want to welcome Caleb, C Bearcat 17, to our server, and hope that he has a good time. And we will see you in the next episode. Be blessed and keep crafting for Christ.